Hello everyone, this is Priya. Welcome back to my channel Floating Code. Today I am going to discuss some very important commands of Pandas data frame that you'll definitely use whenever you explore your data frame. So let's begin. Here first of all I have imported my Pandas library SPD, and here I have read this flowers data file using this read_csv function into this data frame. So after loading the data into the data frame, you would definitely like to see the sample of the data. So for that, we just simply write df.head. What it does, it simply gives the first 5 rows of the data frame. By default, it gives 5 rows, but you could customize it like I want to see only the first 3 rows, then I'll write 3 here and run it. Then it will display the first 3 rows from the data frame. Similarly, next is the tail function. So tail is just the opposite of the head, and as the name suggests, head and tail. So it gives the bottom 5 rows of the data frame. So I'll write df.tail and just run this. So it gives me the bottom 5 rows of my data frame. And here also, if I want to see the bottom 2 rows, I simply write 2 here and run this cell, then it gives me the bottom 2 rows. So that's how this head and tail functions work. Another is the shape attribute. Shape attribute, what it gives us the number of rows and columns of the data frame. So I'll simply write df.shape and just run this cell. So it gives a tuple that contains number of rows and columns of the data frame. So here I have 12 rows and 4 columns in my data frame. But if you only want to see the number of rows, then simply write df.shape and 0 for the 0th element, that is 12, the number of rows, and just run this cell. You'll get 12 here. And for the columns, you'll write df.shape 1 for the first element and just run this, and you'll get the number of columns in your data frame. So that's how you use this shape attribute. Another is the size attribute. So what it does, it simply gives the number of elements in the data frame. So you'll write df.size and just run this cell. So here I got 48, which is just the multiplication of these two numbers, that is our number of rows and number of columns, and that many number of elements we'll have in our data frame. So that's how this size attribute works. Next is the index attribute. So let me write it first, df.index. So what it does, it simply gives the row labels of the data frame. Let me print my original data frame as well here so that we can compare. So this is my original data frame, and as you can see that the row label starts at 0. So here we have start at 0 and stops at 12, as I have a total of 12 rows and step is 1. So they all are increasing with the step size 1. So this gives us the row labels of the data frame. These row labels are the default ones provided by the pandas, but you could change it as well. For that, I have written a list here starting from A, B, C till L, and now I am assigning this list to this df.index. And now if I run df.index, you'll notice that I got a different row labels here. So now they are starting at A and ending at L, and data type is object. So that's how this index attribute gives us the row labels of the data frame. Another is the columns attribute. What it does, it gives us the column labels of the data frame. So I'll write df.columns and just run this cell. So here you'll notice that I got my column labels. As you can check here that I have 4 columns and the names are name, sold, review and rating, and that's what I got here. And the data type is object. So that's how this columns attribute works. Another is the D types. What it does, it simply returns the data type of all the columns in the data frame. So I'll write df.dtypes and just run this cell. So here you'll see that in the name column I got the object data type, in the sold int64, review object, and rating I got int64 data types. So if you want to know the data types of all of your columns in your data frame, simply write df.dtypes or whatever is the name of your data frame. Another is the access attribute. How it works, it simply returns a list that contains row labels and column labels of the data frame. So you'll write df.access and just run this cell. So here you can see that I got a list, and the first element of the list is the row labels and the second is the column labels, as we got these two elements here individually by df.index and df.columns. So if you want to see both of them together, simply write df.axis, because rows and columns are the axis of the data frame. Another is the T attribute. What it does, it gives you the transpose of your data frame. So you'll write df.t and just run this cell. So here you'll notice that the rows have become the columns and the columns have become the rows. So that's how this T attribute works. Another is the empty attribute. What it does, it indicates whether your data frame is empty or not. So it returns true or false. So I'll write df.empty here and just run this cell. I got a false here because my data frame is of course not empty, but let's see a case where this will be true. So here I have written a small data frame where name is the column name and it doesn't contain any value. So I'll just run this cell. So here you can see that I just got the column header and I don't have any value here. And now if I run empty on this data frame, then you'll see that I got a true here because this data frame doesn't contain any value. So if you want to check whether your data frame is empty or not, you could use this empty attribute. So that's how all of these commands work. That's it for this video. If you find this video useful, please do like, subscribe and share, and hope to see you in the next video soon. Bye.